The African continent boasts of 30% of the world's known mineral reserves. Minerals constitute 70% of Africa's exports and 28% of Africa's GDP. These staggering statistics beg the questions: why do hunger, poverty, and underdevelopment persist in Africa? Why does our beautiful and heavily endowed continent remain peripheral in mineral wealth creation? The answer to these questions lie in our failure as a people to adequately leverage our natural resources for the advancement of our economies and the prosperity of our people. I am, however, excited to note that right here in Ghana, Africa's leading exporter of gold presently, we are resetting and rewriting this narrative. Under the vision and leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we are committed to optimizing national benefits from the exploitation and trading of our natural resources for the development of our country and the well-being of our citizens. This vision is anchored on the Nouvelle Ghana Gold Board, a strategic institution whose mandate is to streamline the gold trade sector and optimize returns from the exploitation and trading of Ghana's precious minerals for socio-economic transformation. Through the innovative Gold Board, we are setting national sovereignty over our mineral wealth and introducing a paradigm shift from raw extraction to value retention. As part of its core mandate, the Gold Board oversees, regulates, and participates directly in the gold value chain as relates to artisanal and small-scale mining, to assaying, trading, value addition, and export. The Ghana Gold Board holds exclusive rights to purchase and export all artisanal small-scale mining gold produced in Ghana, including the right to purchase a portion or all of all gold produced by large-scale mining companies. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at the Gold Board, we've been doing more than business as usual. Since our inception, the Gold Board has initiated aggressive licensing reforms to promote responsible sourcing of gold and other precious minerals, strengthened regulatory controls and oversight over the gold supply chain, introduced a transparent and competitive pricing system for licensed miners and licensed gold buyers, deployed robust aggregation systems to effectively mop up gold from all mining regions and districts of the country, removed major incentives for gold smuggling, such as the scrapping of the 1.5% withholding tax on unprocessed small-scale gold, and intensified the fight against illegal gold trading and smuggling through the establishment of the Gold Board Task Force with reward for whistleblowers. These preliminary measures, ladies and gentlemen, have begun to pay off already, as they have led to record high gold exports, both in volume and value this year. Since January up to the end of August 2025, small-scale gold exports undertaken by or through the Gold Board, working closely with the Bank of Ghana, have hit a record high of 66.7 tons, with an export value of approximately 6.3 billion United States dollars. What this means is that the volume and value of small-scale gold exports from January to August 2025 alone have exceeded the total small-scale gold export outing for the whole of the year 2024. That is from January to December, which stood at 63 tons with a value of about 4.6 billion United States dollars. It is also instructive to note that the small-scale gold exports continue to surpass those from the large-scale mining sector, which stood at 65.1 tons with an estimated value of approximately 5.6 billion United States dollars for the period between January and August 2025. In line with our objects of supporting gold reserve accumulation by the Bank of Ghana, the Gold Board has initiated the local purchase of 20% of the gold output of 7 large-scale mining companies in the country. So far, we have locally purchased and supplied to the Bank of Ghana nearly 100 kilograms of large-scale gold to augment the gold reserves of the country. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, foreign exchange accumulation from gold exports this year, particularly from ASM sector, have been unprecedented. These much-needed forex inflows have significantly strengthened Ghana's reserves, improved our balance of payments, and provided critical support for the Ghana cedi. These early successes underline the strategic role of the Ghana Gold Board to Ghana's long-term development and prosperity. As was publicly stated by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama a few months ago, the Ghana Gold Board is still in the preparatory stages of fully deploying its operational mandate, and significant untapped potential remains. But more than just the numbers, ladies and gentlemen, we at the Gold Board are proving something powerful, which is that African-born corporations can lead globally, not merely follow. These milestones that I've outlined are not ours alone to celebrate. They symbolize what Africa can achieve when we combine resource wealth with bold thinking. Beyond foreign exchange and contribution to revenue, the Gold Board is committed to traceability, environmental sustainability, and responsible sourcing, in line with the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) guidelines and international best practices. As directed by His Excellency the President of the Republic, the Gold Board will, before the end of this year, introduce and commence the implementation of a nationwide traceability system which will ensure that every gram of gold purchased by the Gold Board can be traced back to its verified, licensed, and environmentally compliant mine of origin. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to also underscore the commitment of the Gold Board to government's avowed fight against the illegal mining menace. We at Gold Board recognize the importance of responsible mining and sourcing to the long-term sustainability and viability of Ghana's mining sector. To this end, the Gold Board will next week donate 5 Toyota Hilux pickups and an amount of 5 million Ghana cedis to support the work of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS. And I know the Deputy Minister will be very happy to hear this. Also, in line with the instructions of His Excellency the President, and in furtherance of our ecological restoration policy, the Gold Board has made significant financial allocation to support the reclamation of 1,000 hectares of devastated forest reserves starting from November this year. Our corporate social responsibility policy, which we intend to roll out effective October 2025, we shall support mining communities with portable water systems, modern education and health facilities, scholarships for brilliant but needy students, among others. We are further committed to supporting the cooperative mining scheme launched by the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and aimed at formalizing the artisanal small-scale mining sector while creating jobs and increasing national gold output. My brothers and sisters, I strongly believe that the time to maximize gold production and optimize national benefit is now, given the current unprecedented favorable international market conditions for gold. But this cannot happen without the needed financing for the value chain. Sadly, current financing models for mining in Ghana are too conservative. We need African capital structures to provide bold but practical financing solutions for the minerals and mining sector to maximize production and optimize recovery, particularly in this time of record high international gold prices. At the Gold Board, we are determined to sustainably increase Ghana's gold output and develop the country's gold supply chain responsibly from the country's heartland to global vaults, empowering communities while delivering sustainable and transformational returns. This is why we have launched the Mining Support Program with the aim of leveraging our mandate to attract direct investments into mining, particularly for the procurement of environmentally friendly mining equipment to optimize production and recovery for the maximization of national benefits. On 22nd August 2025, the Gold Board signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Goldstream Global DMCC. This MOU would eventually transform into a commercial agreement by November 2025 for the investment of up to $1 billion United States dollars in establishing over 300 responsible mines in blocked out mineralized areas and in partnership with concession owners. Under this program, the Gold Board will be collaborating with the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources and its allied agencies like the Minerals Commission to develop minerals areas, as well as partner with concession owners and communities to maximize Ghana's gold output through sustainable mining. As I've already indicated, this crucial mining support program will increase national gold output and create thousands of jobs in the mining ecosystem for the teeming unemployed youth of our country. Already, the Minerals Commission has released 10 blocked out mineralized areas to the Gold Board for this program and has further pledged to release more in the coming weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, establishing the presence of mineral resources through proper geological investigations is a critical first step to maximizing Ghana's huge and untapped mineral wealth. However, this demands substantial and often risky capital. At the Gold Board, we are partnering with the Ghana Geological Survey Authority and private geological companies to invest in geological investigations and develop a robust geological data repository for sustainable mining. This will provide mining with credible geological data, reduce environmental degradation, and improve mining yields. Our mission for doing this is simple: move the artisanal small-scale mining sector from the phenomenon of, quote, lottery mining, unquote, and I know people understand what lottery mining is, to certainty through accurate geological data to guarantee returns and de-risk investments. The financial sector must not remain a passive observer. We therefore invite local financial institutions to partner with us in crafting innovative funding models for geological investigations. President Mahamir's government is ready to shape policy that compensates strategic partners who invest early and help unlock long-term mutual returns. Additionally, Ghana's extractive sector, particularly the ASM sector, requires innovative financing structures to drive liquidity for miners and local traders to ensure sustainable gold supplies to the Gold Board. The Gold Board remains open to engage and transform with willing financial partners. Brothers and sisters, for far too long, we have ceded equipment financing and rentals for miners, especially ASM miners, to foreign entrepreneurs who have no regard for our water bodies and forest reserves. Our current policy interventions to weed out illegal gold traders and miners is effectively weeding out these irresponsible foreign equipment financiers. This undoubtedly creates a financing gap for small-scale mining and an opportunity to transform the sector through sustainable financing by responsible financiers. As a country, we must create export credit facilities example for us to ponder over. As you may be aware, Ghana's primary pension fund yields almost negative real returns due to investments in unproductive ventures. Foreign pension funds, however, invest profitably in mining. Why not reorient our pension strategy as a country toward gold, a time-tested asset and a better hedge against inflation? Why can't we establish locally managed and globally viable equity and debt funds to catalyze mining investments? Before I conclude, let me touch on the most critical issue of value addition to Ghana's minerals worth. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a national shame that as a long-standing continental leader in gold production, Ghana continues to export dory, that is raw gold, instead of bullion. The Ghana Gold Board, which I lead, is determined to change this narrative as a matter of urgency. As part of the research agenda of President Mahama, the Gold Board, in conjunction with the Bank of Ghana, is partnering local refineries such as the Gold Coast Refinery to begin the local refining of gold purchased and exported by the Gold Board. And this will begin next month, October 2025. Let me at this stage commend the Chamber of Mines for expressing their willingness to work with us to ensure the local refining of gold produced by large-scale mining firms in the country. The Gold Board will continue to drive innovation. And in this regard, ladies and gentlemen, we have secured a parcel of land at the cargo village at the Kotoka International Airport to build an ultramodern ISO-certified assay laboratory with the aim of changing Ghana's assay regime from SRF and water density to the golden standard of assay, fire assay, for all gold, both small scale and large scale, produced in or exported from Ghana. I am happy to inform you that on that same parcel of land secured by the Gold Board, we will be building a wholly state-owned and international standard gold refinery to further advance the local refining of gold, transitioning Ghana from the export of dory to bullion. Plans are also underway, ladies and gentlemen, to develop strategic partnerships to establish a gold village in the nature of the gold souk of Dubai in Ghana, envisaged as a continental hub for gold jewelry and ornament production. But, brothers and sisters, this dream will elude us without a critical partnership of financial institutions for value-adding investments, particularly in the area of refining, minting, and the fabrication of minerals into jewelry, coins, tablets, and other forms of castings and store of value. I wish to remind all of us in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, that by 2030, Africa will be home to over 370 million young people aged 15 to 35. Unemployment rates are alarming, not because our youth lack talent and the desire to work, but because our systems lack vision. We cannot solve today's crisis with yesterday's tools. The minerals and mining sector must do more than the traditional extraction we are accustomed to. We must shift from raw exports to incontinent beneficiation, move from rent-seeking middlemen to decentralized tech-enabled trade models, and change from youth as laborers to youth as innovators, financiers, and owners. This is not a plea for aid. It's a declaration. Africa is ready to transform. So today, I challenge every government official, financier, corporation, and individual in this room. Let African minerals build African futures. Let our natural reserves fuel innovation, not corruption. Let our youth lead global trade and not just participate. Ghana is resetting. Africa is rising. The Gold Board is ready. All we need now is courage and capital. Let us fund the minerals and mining sector differently and work together to transform it. And let us make Ghana, Africa, and the world a better place. Thank you very much for your attention.
Citizen TV, Accra, Ghana. Citizen TV, the citizen's power.